That's the difference between a trip and a vacation.
Mm.
Somebody taught me that a long time ago. When I used to take trips, I was worried about the money I was spending because I really didn't have it to spend. And so as soon as I got back, I had to hurry up and try to figure out how I was going to pay the rent because I spent too much money. Vacation, he told me, was you have the money already planned and you can spend it and enjoy it because you're not worried about, I'm actually spending my rent payment for the month. I just don't have to deal with it for another 24 days. So yeah, that stuck with me ever since then, man. The difference between a trip and a vacation.
What's going on, good people? So, welcome to another episode of First Generation Wealth Builders, man. So, we back at it, man. We dealing with Dre.
Yeah, man, it's a full-time job too, man. I appreciate you taking it on.
I hear you. I hear you.
I'm not an easy customer. Let's put it that way.
So, check this out, man. I was checking out your watch, man. Yeah, that boy got a bright link.
Yeah, man. So you taught me something, man. You taught me to celebrate your wins, and I celebrated. I celebrated my win.
So, I need you to tell me how you felt, though. Yeah.
I felt like I felt vindicated. Like I felt like all the stuff I had been through, all the stuff I had worked for, all the thoughts and ideas that I tried to put in motion, one of them paid off. Like one of them worked. I saw it all the way through, and it exceeded my expectations. That's what it felt like. And so, to go sit in a chair and buy a watch seems like a pretty simple thing, but when you think about like the watches I knew came from what was the watches we used to buy back in the day? It was a Guess. Guess, you remember them?
Yeah.
Back in the late '90s, everybody's buying Guess watches. Like that was a big deal, and a Fossil was a bigger deal. You know what I mean? Like those were watches to me up to a certain point, and so to sit down and really be like, most anything I really like, I can just pick that one.
The
You know what I mean?
freedom to do so.
Yeah, and I'm not worried about where the money gonna come from, or how I'm gonna make it back. You know what I mean? Like that. It felt foreign, but I liked it.
Got you. That is the emotion and the feeling that entrepreneurship gives me
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah.
I will never go to fucking work.
Well, that's where I think.
And there's no disrespect to
No,
anybody
not at all.
who does.
None taken. But that's why I think this is such a beautiful marriage, right? Because neither one of us tries to convince each other our way is the only way.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think I learned a tremendous amount from you as an entrepreneur that I can then take and apply, knowing that I'm still going to go to work. But then because of what I do in corporate America, you and I have a lot of conversations about business strategy and growth.
Right.
And you know what I mean? So it's like, I think we both benefit from the relationship. And I think so many other people can when we stop trying to convince each other we got it the way.
Got you.
You know what I
got
mean?
you. And that's why we're here, man.
Facts.
We're here to talk about first generation wealth building and how we can, assist Andre from, taking his income, his earned income, and investing it into ways for his money to work for him, to grant him the freedom to upgrade his wife's ring, for him to get the watch he wants, for him to go to the game of his, of a lifetime and see the team of his favorite team, to give him the peace of mind that financially everything is still okay as you're enjoying life.
There you go. That's it. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
That's the difference between a trip and a vacation. Somebody taught me that a long time ago. When I used to take trips, I was worried about the money I was spending because I really didn't have it to spend. And so as soon as I got back, I had to hurry up and try to figure out how I was going to pay the rent because I spent too much money. Vacation, he told me, was you have the money already planned and you can spend it and enjoy it because you're not worried about, I'm actually spending my rent payment for the month. I just don't have to deal with it for another 24 days.
Mm.
So yeah, that stuck with me ever since then, man. The difference between a trip and a vacation.
Got you. So you didn't came in that thing thirsty. You ready to get to it, huh?
Bruh.
Ah!
So here's the thing, right? It's like once closing that deal and seeing a check of that size.
That check was $212,000. I'm sorry.
Seeing a check of that size and being black in America, for me, it was like, so when they told me in history class that our vets came back from World War II and Vietnam and they couldn't buy houses, the reason you thought that was significant information is because you knew if they sold those houses, we'd be in a much better position 40, 60, 100 years ago to be building generational wealth. Right? Like, so like you hear people make those taglines of like, I am living my ancestors' dreams. Like to sit at a table and sell a house to make that kind of money. Like our ancestors fought and died for us to be able to sit here and have this conversation about that type of stuff, man. So it doesn't escape me. But at the same time, it was hurtful in a way. Because it's like, this still isn't normal where I come from. And it should be.
But we about to make it a new normal.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
we
it.
about to make it a new normal. So we hope to empower people with the conversation, and that's why we're hosting dealing with Dre. You know what I mean? And my goal is to obviously give you the tools and the equipment for you to be able to execute that via the real estate as an engine
Yep.
to get you there. So,
Yeah.
all right. So we talked about, like who you may need in the prior episode to get you where you need to get you, just like the individuals that you need to have relationships with
Yeah, on the
and
team.
start building, stuff. So I think that what we know here is that you don't want to become a flipper.
Right.
You don't want to be a wholesaler.
Right.
So as you start to endeavor in this field, it's going to be easy to come across once you're really planting seeds and you got your leads coming in.
Yeah.
It's going to be easy for you to get a flip to land in your lap.
Mm-hmm.
That's not part of your business model though.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be a rental investor.
Yeah.
All right, so we have to make sure that we understand that, and we have to have an exit strategy though for that asset.
Property. Yeah.
And so, one thing I want to start to introduce to you is that I'm going to want you to join real estate groups
Okay.
on Facebook.
Okay.
The reason why Facebook versus Instagram, I mean, you could do both, but I think that as you're a father, you got other things. I think the primary focus is Facebook.
Okay.
Because there's conversations going on in these groups.
Yeah.
And they need to understand and see Andre now
Mm-hmm.
as a new investor, a potential buyer, and they need to understand what you do.
Okay.
So for them to understand what you do, I tell my students to actually start taking pictures and videos when you're actually begin looking for homes.
Okay.
Because if I am on Facebook and I'm an investor, and I don't know that you invest, you haven't done nothing but one deal, and it was your house. But if I see you with a picture in a distressed home, I'm starting to connect the dots that you are looking for properties that I may have for you.
Yeah.
And so that is a way to bring attention and for people to relate to you. Okay. Not everybody is in an abandoned building and or distressed properties.
Right.
We are.
Yeah.
Because we're looking for deals. Wholesalers are looking for us.
Right.
And that's how they can find you.
Never
that's how you
thought
can
about
wave.
that.
That's how you can wave at them without even calling them.
Never thought about that. Okay.
And so I think that it's important for you to start, letting people know, hey, I'm looking to buy some rental properties.
Okay.
And so you could go to Facebook groups like Out of Town Investors, Indianapolis. And when you sign up, it's going to ask you a few things and then let you in. You're like, hey, my name is Andre. I wanted to introduce myself. I'm looking to buy 3-2 properties in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Okay.
If you got them, here's my email. Create you investing by Dre at gmail.com. But for every time you get a beep from there, there's somebody trying to reach out to you or something related to real estate.
Understood.
I wouldn't commingle that with your current email.
Okay.
And I think there you're also going to start to gauge the language, and they always put properties out in those RIA groups, CYREA groups. So CYREA is the Indianapolis Central Indianapolis Real Estate Investors Association.
So there's two of those, right? Because there's one that
There
meets
is.
at Broadmoor. I don't
You're
know how to say
right.
it.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I went to their meetings in person a while, like maybe 2 years ago.
Gotcha.
But I'd heard about CYREA.
Yeah. That's the bigger one.
Okay, CYREA is? Okay, all right.
But that's an example. But you could do that everywhere. You know what I mean? And
In every city, you mean?
every city, you could do it in your areas. So if you live in Franklin Township, you know,
This is CYREA in Franklin?
Hamilton, there's investment groups everywhere.
Gotcha, investment groups.
You know what I
Okay,
mean?
understood.
There could be a Hendricks County where I'm at in Avon.
Yeah.
And so you want to, if that's your area,
Yeah.
you know, we want to definitely understand what we're doing.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now, your business model is obviously to acquire rental properties. And so we already talked about getting with the lender.
Yep.
But we need to understand the capital that we're working with and for acquisitions. I think that once you got that meeting, you be there. The next thing we need to evaluate and know at all times, what is a deal?
Okay.
Does Andre buy 2-bedroom, 1-baths?
No.
Why not?
Because it's not what's highly being sold on the market. Everything is 3-bed, 2-bath.
But that's what's being sold. You have to understand your end user.
From a rental perspective.
Boom.
Okay. So is a 2-bed, 1-bath a sought after property type in the rental market?
So that's a conversation that you need to have with individuals like myself
On the Facebook group.
on the Facebook groups, in CYREA group meetings,
Okay.
and things of that nature.
Because that'll give you a good idea of what's actually going on in the market.
What I've learned from my experience is this, though, to answer your question, that the average individual likes to have 3 bedrooms, 2 baths.
Yeah.
The homeowner has been conditioned to have their own master bath in their bedroom. And they typically, the average person 30 and above has 2 kids. So when they're little, yes, the 2-1 will work. But as the kids mature to be teenagers, 3-2 is very attractive.
Yeah.
Also, a 3-2, to give your person credit, it's a way to exit out the property. It's harder to exit out a 2-1.
Yeah.
So let me explain that. If you are going to buy a 2-1, to sell a 2-1, you're selling it to somebody like myself, an investor. Very rarely is somebody buying a 2-1 unless they're retiring.
Yeah.
So if I'm buying your house, I don't want to buy nothing at retail pricing.
Right.
So that hurts your end game.
Yep. Makes sense.
So we always got to think about the end user, the person renting it, and the person that if I don't get it rented, I can sell it to.
Yeah. Yeah. For the exit strategy.
So 2-2 is cool. I would never do 2-1.
Why is 2-2 cool?
You got 2 baths. So if you got 2 kids, they still got their own bathroom. You still psychologically giving me my own bathroom.
Yeah. So I'll cut the kid out of having their own bedroom.
Purchasing real estate and renting real estate is emotional.
Okay. Yeah.
So give me my own bath, and they got their own, and I still might do it.
Yeah,
they just gonna have some bunk beds.
Right.
But the 3-2 is the solid play.
That's the sweet spot. Gotcha.
4-2, you start to get into big boy territory. Why? Your rents are higher. And also it might be a situation to where you're looking for a specific family.
Yeah.
Versus selling to the masses.
I got you.
Somebody with 3 kids, and so you got to think about it. Most people are single. Single income, 4-2, you're spending $1,600, $1,800 rent
For rooms you're not going to go into ever.
Rare.
Yeah.
I'm just being real.
Yeah.
So that's something that we want to just basically understand.
Gotcha.
Our what type of deal are we looking for? You know what I mean? But what is a good deal? Have you given thought to if you feel like you're gonna buy, like, and put 20% down
Yeah.
and have it just ready to go?
Yeah.
Or have you thought about buying it, repairing it,
Yeah.
and forcing the equity up to where the equity represents your 20%?
So we talked about like 5 a year really being the goal if I'm going to hit 50. So I really thought about what does my first year need to look like. In my head, I would like to buy something that's turnkey for that first one, and then experiment with, now that I've at least gone through the paperwork side of it as an investor, let me now get the experience of going through it as a rehabber. Even if I'm not doing the rehab myself, just managing it, I think I need those two experiences out of the gate. And then I'll continue to make better decisions based on having that frame of reference.
Why do you feel that that's the way that you want to go? What gives you that insight or intuition?
Yeah, because I've got a finite amount of capital, and I don't want to leverage my capital if I don't have to. And so my goal is to only leverage my capital one time.
And that's just to kind of like, so you could basically learn and just understand the process.
Sorry, yeah, you're right. You're right. Like, so I fully expect to, by being hands-on in the process, learn it by doing it. So that's why I want to do it one way where I buy something that's pretty much turnkey, because then I'm only focused on one side of the equation. It's
Right.
what happens to me from a paperwork process. Once I've done that, the second time it'll be easier to navigate that. So now I can more so emphasize what is it like to actually go through and manage the rehab piece. I don't want to try to learn both of those in one fell swoop.
Okay. All right. In doing this, do you know what area you want to invest in?
In terms of the sides of town, no. No, I started driving like we talked about. I know there's 2 properties. I looked at several, but there's 2 that like I'd really like to go drive with you and just show them to you and get your take on them. One of them's off of Millersville Road.
Okay.
The other one is right off of 70th and Allisonville.
Got you, got you. Something I want to talk about, as you just said, I would like for you to go with me.
Yeah.
I don't have no time to go with you.
I didn't say I need you to go. I
Gotcha.
said I would like.
All right. I think this is an opportunity, though, for a young investor listening to really understand that it would help you tremendously.
Sure.
To get an experienced investor's insight. It don't even have to be me to assist you in how to navigate that deal.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that what I was trying to pull and share is that there is a way for somebody to basically reach out to a mentor
Yeah. Okay.
and
I'm with you.
strategically entice them to help you.
Yeah.
Because that mentor is busy.
Yeah.
That mentor is growing his business. That mentor does have his family. That mentor has his friends and this leisure time he enjoys. And I think that it's important for us to translate to folks that it's important to add value
Yeah.
to whoever is going to
Mentor.
you're going to reach out to,
Yeah.
in a sense of, hey, I would love to take a look at this house. Can we look at it and do dinner afterwards? I'm going to eat.
Yeah.
So if I'm smoking my cigar, eating and drinking on your dime, and
Yeah.
talking real estate,
Yeah.
I'm going to go for that day.
So that's what I messed up. I didn't invite you out to dinner.
Man, I'm just saying, bro. Like, I mean, if I got a little bro you on here, that's what we got to do. I'm just saying.
I'm with you. I'd be glad to take you out to dinner.
We empowering on first generation
Yeah,
wealth
yeah,
builders.
no,
You
that's
feel
good
me?
stuff. That's good stuff.
So I mean, it's important because, man,
I assumed we was gonna eat. But,
I feel you, but Ziggy has witnessed it. Like, there's somebody in my inbox right now. I mean, they tell me their life stories daily.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. No.
And it's not that I'm looking for anything. I don't need anything. If I got time, I will.
Yeah.
But the truth is, hey, catch me out this boy and like,
Yeah.
we gonna eat afterwards?
Yeah.
Where the property at? If I ain't got my kids and the dogs is good, where the property at?
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Send me the numbers before I even go there, before we could evaluate them.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm doing your work for you. You know, and it doesn't mean that you won't learn,
It's just, it don't take you nothing but, you know.
Boom. But
Yeah.
you added value to my day.
Yeah.
I now don't have to think about where dinner's coming from.
Where you want to go eat, man?
Hey, you know what I mean?
He landed on thick, too. Just tell me
You know
where
what I'm
you
saying?
want to
You
go.
got Breitling watches. You know what I'm saying? You got new shoes and shit. So like, you know, let me think about that.
Okay.
But I feel that though. You know what I mean? The next thing I want to talk about is like how you gonna find deals? Have you thought about, you know, ordering a list, deal machine, driving for dollars, you know, our conversations from the past?
Yeah,
If you missed it, go watch that.
Yeah, you need to go check those out. So I started doing the driving for dollars, and I downloaded and installed Deal Machine on my phone.
Gotcha.
So I'm struggling with it though, because I don't really quite know what I'm doing. I put the first one in there, and I put a couple pictures up, and I'm like, okay.
Got you. So when you first get on dealmachine.com, there's a video or in the app, there's a thing for videos on
Okay.
how to use the application.
All right.
Also, you want to turn on the navigation. It will show you the areas that you've already been to. Therefore, if you want to go to Batesville, Hendricks, or Avon,
Yeah.
and you travel every street in Avon, it will show you your trace.
Okay.
It will not go away until the trace is 6 months old. Therefore, you don't go places
same
twice.
streets. Got you. Okay. All right.
So once you start doing your, you know, your driving for dollars situation, that's how you do it. So let's start a manual way on doing it.
Okay.
So the manual way is take one of your kids. You're on street, and it's 123 Main Street. Baby, write down 123 Main Street, 46210. 1122 Main Street. Write that down, baby.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
Alexandria is right outside, and that's what Alexandria and Alyssa do for me.
Okay.
When we're driving for dollars. To this now, Alexandria and Alyssa, I could give them a block, and they could go to the blocks. I could see their tracing, and they know what distressed properties to do. Remember about systems? I fired myself. Now they can do it.
Yeah.
And I can pay them.
Look at you.
I'm just saying, bro. You know what I mean? I just gave you that game, man. Man, put something in the collection cup, B.
I got you. We going to dinner.
But you know, I mean that's how you do something,
Yeah.
and you teach it. And while we here, man, I'll give you one. The secret to being a business owner, not owning an LLC, it's a difference.
Yeah.
Because you can be a DJ and be an entrepreneur, but you're really a technician.
Yeah.
You really got an expensive job.
Yeah.
Because if you don't work, you don't eat.
Yeah.
So you got to work.
Yeah.
Then you have the manager DJ. You got a crew. You get 25% of all their gigs. You find them gigs. You got them. You're getting paid if you don't work and if you want to work too.
Yeah.
Then you got the entrepreneur. That's at the Dallas Mavericks game like yourself. Party Breitling, he's living life with wifey, buying wifey the best that life could bring.
Yeah.
And you're really enjoying life, and the operation is running by yourself. The only way you could achieve that is to document your business and fire yourself.
So you give somebody else the documentation so they can do the work.
Boom, that's the SOP that you talk about. That's that E-Myth.
I'm paying attention. when you talk.
But, you know, so that's how you could really develop your list. If you got cousins, and one can go with you, 16-year-old, Ziggy, I give him my car to go do errands. I mean, you got to give him that. It does, like, oh man, if Ziggy do something to my truck, but at the end of the day,
you ain't giving him the real car. You let him.
I give him the truck. With Ziggy got to do errands, you know, you got to give him the truck.
You gonna give him the big body though?
No, never. Never. He tried that boy one time though. Yeah. He tried to correct me real quick, but you know, but not for no work. You know what I mean? We got an emergency. but again, I have to remove myself, trust, and allow somebody to do it. Even if it's done as 90%, it's still getting done.
Yeah.
And I could spend my time on money making, on $500,000 money making moves.
Yep.
Versus driving for dollars. I could be building relationships, getting the money to get the deals.
Yep.
While they're getting the deals.
Gotcha.
You know, having the conversations, going to see the houses.
Yeah.
And so that's where you need to be at on appointments, as they're just giving you lists.
Yeah.
And opportunity. But getting the opportunity is based on building that SOP. So that's just something that I wanted to just cover, talked about, because now we need to understand what's a good deal.
Yeah.
We need to buy 70% to ARV. That means that the house and the repairs are under 70%. And therefore, by the time we have closing fees and we refinance,
Slow down, because you be going through that so fast, and I know
Yep,
people
yep.
not getting it. So when we talk about 70% to ARV, what we're talking about, right? Because you've explained this to me enough times, I think I got it. It cost me this much to buy the property, to buy the asset, and it's going to cost me over and above that some amount to do the repairs to get it rent ready. That should not exceed 70% of the after repair value of the property.
correct.
Okay, all right.
Give me some numbers though to really break it down.
So if we got $100,000 ARV, right? If the after repair value of the house is $100,000, if I buy the house for $35,000, I cannot spend more than $35,000 in repairs and closing costs, and meet that threshold of 70%. Anything over that, I'm over 70%. Right.
Closing costs should do you right around $5,000 to $6,000. That's kind of high, but in a refinance, maybe 4,000 to 5,000. And
Right.
guess what that'll be for you?
What?
A free rental property.
There we go. Yeah.
And I think that's a great way to tap out of here, man. Yo, check it out. Like, subscribe. Make sure you go to entrepreneur.com, man. Check it out. We got some dope courses coming out, man. Stay tuned, man. Every Tuesday, we got the E to E podcast coming out, man. I mean, the First Generation Wealth Builders podcast coming out. So stay tuned with us. Make sure to tell a friend, and I'll see you next time.
Peace.